Okay, so a bit of an update. Most of the friction material cleaned up pretty well. Just cleaned it off in petrol, and I think they're going to be good enough for now, given that they started more like this one. So the hoist drum lining was pretty toast. That was the worst one of the lot. So I ended up getting this one here off the second machine, and should do something for now. I only got half the brake bands off. I'll explain why when I go over to the machine, but clean these off in petrol, and they've come up a lot better, so hopefully they'll make some sort of difference. I disassembled these units here, cleaned all the adjuster threads. I'll lubricate them before they go back together. Some of these plates were bent, so straighten them out. Bronze bushings are soaking in oil, ready for reassembly. And that's it for this section. Okay, back in the machine. Cleaned up the drums. I think they've come up pretty good. Mostly just oil and grease in there. See how it goes, but I think it'll be okay. Was originally going to clean all of these items off. I plan on putting new material on the brakes and clutches regardless of whether they work, just basically so don't have to deal with any potential future asbestos dust. So at that point, whenever that is, I'll probably just disassemble everything you can see here on both sides and clean them all, fix up any wear, and reassemble them. Possibly pull the drums off at that same point and clean them also. The areas here where the brakes run, mostly just oil and grease and rust. So wash them and wet sand them a little bit and wash them off again, and they've come up good enough, I think. Could only get the top half of the brake bands off. I'll explain on the other side a little bit better. Alright, so back on the other side, I had a lot of issues with, although these pivots here were moving pretty freely, this pin onto the brake band itself was pretty well seized with heating and levering. I got it off after about an hour's worth of work. I didn't want to hit it too much because of didn't want to spread too much dust everywhere, so probably could have done it a bit quicker way, but I figure I'd do it a bit of a safer way. Now both sides, the bands are still intact on the lower side because there is this shaft running all the way through here to the other side that attaches all your brake pivots and the lower band just here. To get that out, there's cover underneath I have to take off, which requires heating more things, breaking more rust, and it looks like to get this cast piece here off. Then this pivot has to come off, which means the shaft underneath looks like it has to slide out of the way. More rusted things. Can't be bothered at the moment. I think I'll finish cleaning some stuff off and reassemble it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then all I'm trying to achieve is experimenting whether the machine physically works after sitting for so long, and I will get new linings, like I said earlier, at some point, and remove much more items, clean all the grease, and put them back together, and probably fix a whole heap of other things I find along the way. So for now, that will be it. I'll put it back together and see what happens.